Craving your next action-packed adventure? Audible delivers thrills of every kind on your command, like Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, where a lone astronaut must save humanity from extinction, narrated with stunning intensity by Ray Porter. From electrifying suspense and daring quest to spine-tingling horror and romance in far-off realms, unleash your adventurous side with gripping titles that'll keep you guessing. Discover exclusive Audible originals, hotly anticipated new releases, and must-listen bestsellers that hook you from the first minute. Because Audible knows there's no greater thrill than the one that speaks to you. Discover what lies beyond the edge of your seat. Start your free 30-day trial at audible.com/WonderyUS. That's audible.com/WonderyUS.
This is what the people like, honestly.
This is what they're clamoring for. They're clamoring for just the most deranged podcast, no structure. They're not literally leaving comments on the podcast page being like, please install a structure onto this podcast. They're not saying that. They're saying, let it ride, girls.
They really are. They really are, truly.
Welcome to Text Me Back Podcast, one of the most decrepit podcasts in the industry. We will be hobbling through this episode for various reasons. For Lindy's part, there was a reggae band asleep in her office up till like 20 minutes ago. So that was a huge hurdle she had to overcome. Yep. And for me, I'm getting sick and my eyeball is swollen again. So what caused it this time? Not eye cream, because I don't use that anymore. I have decided to age gracefully. This time it was just pollen, which, come on now.
I thought you wanted me to be an environmentalist, but now the trees are attacking my face?
You told me to go out there. That's what you said. That's what Genevieve Subaru said. And that's what I did. And by the way, I was outside for 7 minutes total yesterday. But I forgot to take my allergy medication. But I was thinking, it's not so bad. It's like not even that sunny here. It's kind of shitty. So I was like, what's the worst that could happen? And the answer is your eyeball swells up so much that it obstructs your vision. So
for the record, I think your eyeball looks normal.
Thanks. I know Allie's going to make a video and everyone's going to be like, I can't tell, but I'm just going to point it out to you so you can see. See that bad boy? Now compare it to this side. This is just regular wrinkles. This, you can see puffy. For those listening audibly, I'm pointing to my puffy, swollen pollen eyeball.
I have a question.
Go on.
First of all, what's the evolutionary purpose of allergies?
Please.
You know, like even a mosquito, I get it. Bats have to eat. What?
But no, hang on, because there are other bugs.
That's true.
We don't need mosquitoes.
We don't need them.
Need that.
No. Need that. But truly, like, if evolution is just freaking survive, like what do they call it? Certain things that are helpful persist, and things that serve no purpose disappear. What's it for?
Then what is a histamine? Come on. Get out of here. Why hasn't the human body developed natural? Oh my God. We're becoming RFK and Rick. I was like, why haven't we developed natural antihistamines then? How come there are no man monkeys walking among us today if evolution is real?
Dude, my algorithm, as we know, absolutely cooked to death. But toxic. Now I have the conspiracy. I got this woman who was. Oh, we should probably talk about this anyway. I got served this video of this woman who was she was trying to claim that the stupid girl boss space flight was a hoax.
Yeah, I wish, babe.
I wish, yeah, truly. And so then I started to get more of her videos, and it became clear that she thinks that space is a hoax.
Yeah, now we're cooking.
And she thinks that stars are a hoax, that stars themselves are. She was like, we only know about stars because of what we've been told. None of us have ever seen one up close.
Yes, we have.
And she was
They
like,
sent a little robot up there to look at them.
that's what they want. That's what they want you to think.
That's
She
what they
said
want us to
she
think.
said that she thinks it's most likely that stars are a projection on the ceiling.
Of Earth.
Yeah.
On Earth's ceiling. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Just really quick on the girl boss flight to space, because by the time you're hearing this, you will have already processed your feelings. But where we are,
Dude.
they just sent Gayle to space. And it sent me over the edge 1,000 times. Like, at first I just was like, whatever, if rich people want to go to space, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And it turns out I give a shit a lot.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. It's so fucking stupid. It is the most colossal waste of money I've ever heard of in my life. And I know this is a cliche, I never ever again want to hear some chucklehead say, how are we going to pay for it? When we're talking about like school lunch and books. Fuck you. Jeff Bezos sent 6 women to space for what? There's no reason. And then everyone got mad, rightfully. And then today, Wednesday, April 16th, this was 1,000 years ago to you listening. Today, Gayle was like, oh, stop the backlash.
Oh.
I encourage everyone to go to space before they complain about me going to space, because what the penis rocket that we went up and does, they provide an incredible service. What do you mean everyone should go to space? Gayle, there's no food down here. The children are starving. The schools are closed. People are dying of extinct diseases on Earth. And you're like, go to space and you'll see how much it freaking whips. Shut up, Gayle.
She was like, I'm really upset about how mean people are being about me going to space. And
With Katy Perry.
And what they don't understand is that the purpose of going to space is to make things better down here on Earth. What? How?
Quick question, Gayle. What are you talking about? Because how does it make it better? So, because you can see Earth from farther away, and that makes you think I should save Earth? You just spewed 12 quadrillion gallons of jet fuel onto Earth's face, and now you went up there to be like, dog, problem solved, because now I get it. Save our mother. Save our mother.
We already knew about her.
I already wanted to, and I'm down here. They're firing the whale scientists. They're firing the weather people. We're setting everything on fire. California is on fire 12 months a year, and you had to go to space. Why, girl?
The conspiracy lady was like, so the video that was her evidence that it was a hoax is that there's this video of them after the pod lands. Then they open the door and then someone's like, no, close the door. And then Jeff Bezos goes up and like opens the door with a flourish. And they're like, see, it's not a hoax. It's a stupid fucking publicity stunt.
It's a stunt.
They had to, and so anyway, one of her big gotchas was like, oh, so they all had time to do full hair and makeup before they step out of the pod. No, they had time to do full hair and makeup before they got in the pod because the space flight was 11 minutes because it's nothing. Because they went nowhere and did nothing.
All it was an environmental disaster where everyone looked really pretty. That's all it was. It's so, except for Jeff Bezos, who looks, as always, like a toe. Please, this sent me to hell. Because this is all happening the same day that like Trump is telling the president of El Salvador to build more prisons for Americans. And I'm like, and fucking Whitey's on the moon. That's all I could think about was Gil Scott-Heron and Whitey on the moon all day yesterday. We will put a link to it in the show notes. That shit is from 1971. And it is a spoken word poem about how fucking stupid it is to send people to space when people are getting their little teensy footsies bitten by rats and are starving and can't read. Hello?
As my dad used to say, Meagan, there's nothing new under the sun. Parentheses, a projection on the ceiling.
That's what he said.
I had a weird existential crisis where, like, when I watched the video of them in space and then they all held hands and they yelled, take up space. I had this moment of I was like, I did that. I built that. I built that. Oh no.
You and Sheryl Sandberg
I was like,
made this happen.
you know, I was at Jezebel when Sheryl Sandberg's book came out, #Lean In. And I remember, you know, we critiqued it a ton, but I also remember being like, look, I understand why this is fucking stupid, but I remember being like, but can we just talk, like, the men are worse. Like, I don't know. I just remember being like, why is this? Like, look, let the rich women do whatever they want. And then that moment watching that in the spaceship, I was like, oh,
yeah.
that's why we needed to kill it, because now it's killing us.
Because there's just always going to be somebody who will be the patsy for the regime, right?
Yeah.
So of course they send a flight with 6 women, many of them women of color, to space. It was logistically organized by Whitey. And so that he can be like, wow, congrats girls, because we girl boss all the way to space. You know, it's like, and that's the pernicious side of corporate feminism, or that is corporate feminism in a nutshell. It doesn't help anyone. Women are dying of sepsis because they can't get access to abortion care or just to like any type of health care. And goddamn Gayle is on the moon. Come on. I am in a mental prison caused by Blue Origin space girls. No, thank you.
As someone who once peed in a bathroom stall next to Gayle King at a corporate feminist event, I'm calling you in. Gayle. Stop
Tinkling and stop going to the moon.
Think about how revolutionary it would be at this moment in time if Gayle was like, you know what? I listened.
You're right.
You're right. That was
fucking stupid.
And then Oprah was like, yeah, this is fucking stupid.
Goddamn, Oprah was there crying her eyes out over Gayle going to space. And I was like, oh, Lord, I cannot continue. Speaking of exiting Earth, I would like to do that. Yes. Whatever. I'll get in whatever rocket. Send me to whatever. Send me straight to the ceiling, please.
One more girl boss space flight for me and Megs.
You're welcome. Straight to the ceiling, please. No survivors. I can't deal with this. We're going to start the show now. We are going to Tide. Lindy has a couple of conspiracy theories for you, and we have some businesswomen updates that we would like to share with you as well. But first, we would like to thank our sponsor, Magic Mind, for sponsoring today's episode. Thank you, our angels at the Magic Mind Corporation, who have never once tried to send us to space. Not one time have they ever done it.
In fact, they bring me down from space and tether me to Earth in a good way.
Parentheses complimentary. Yes. We have been enjoying our Magic Mind for some time now. Lindy and I both, I think we've mentioned this, we both kind of like not really on coffee these days. So Magic Mind is a good alternative. The ingredients are kind of like the magic in the titular Magic Mind.
Yep.
They've got things like turmeric.
They've got ashwagandha. Did you know about that?
You ever heard about that?
Did you know that ashwagandha is a small shrub that's native to India and North Africa?
And that it perfects your mind? Ever heard about that?
It's an adaptogenic herb, Meagan, which means that it helps the body adapt to stress and reduce the negative impact of stress on the body, which is what I need, because I woke up this morning and remembered that there was an entire reggae band asleep in my office. And I was like, but I have to do the podcast and tell them about
the podcast.
I have to tell them about Magic Mind.
And can I just tell you, the ingredients in this thing really do work. At least for me, that's what I've experienced drinking and enjoying my little shots of Magic Mind. My husband is still on coffee.
Boo.
Like a loser. Boo. He's still on coffee. Yesterday, he's like, I lost my keys. I can't find my keys anywhere. I have to take your keys. And I was like, fine, whatever. Later, I will check the AirTag and see where your keys are, but I'm sure they're somewhere in the house. Later, I checked, and all of the keys and my husband's location were in Arlington, Virginia, all together. That's right. He couldn't find his own keys that were somewhere on his person. So then he took my keys. You want to know who that's never happened to? Me, the Magic Mind drinker. That's right.
Mhm.
So something to think about if you're on the fence about Coffee v. Magic Mind, the famous Supreme Court case. Coffee v. Magic Mind, where the majority found that Magic Mind rocks. Give it a shot because you will be able, literally a shot of Magic Mind, because you will be able to find your keys and you will not be like, where are my keys? And then somehow also forget that there's an air tag on them that would help you find them yourself. Anyways, we don't need to get into all of that.
Although
the point is, Magic Mind is undefeated.
Magic Mind is undefeated. And when you're not taking Magic Mind, it punishes not just you, but also your loved ones. Because then Meagan is stuck at home with no keys because you're still drinking coffee. And you're not getting the ashwagandha, you're not getting the turmeric, and you're not getting the lion's mane mushroom.
No, you're not.
Which is a superfood.
I don't want to hear it.
It's a superfood, Meagan. And it has been studied for its potential in treating various health conditions, including depression, anxiety, and Alzheimer's disease. So
yeah. So we recommend this to you. Ever since we've been drinking it, we've been able to find our keys like two normal adult women. And we've been able to successfully identify whether or not there are reggae bands asleep in our office. So that's not something you can do on coffee. So give it a try. We have a little discount for you, 40% off. magicmind.com/textmeback40. And you can get your little Magic Minds at a little discount. So thank you to them, as always, for sponsoring our show. And we will be right back with business.
Are you feeling stuck in your career or lacking employment at the moment? Experiencing symptoms of job dissatisfaction? You might be suffering from a common condition known as career stagnation. But don't worry, there's a solution. Monster.com. Monster.com offers a comprehensive suite of career-boosting tools designed just for you. Our free resume review and AI interview prep tool will help you stand out from the crowd. Need more guidance? Dive into our career advice articles for expert tips and insights. And don't forget to check out our salary tools to ensure you're getting paid what you're worth. Side effects may include a new job, increased confidence, and a brighter future. Consult Monster.com today and take the first step towards your new career. Ready for your next job opportunity? Visit Monster.com now.
All right. We're going to give you a quick business update, mostly because we wanted to play the song again, which I'm going to do right now.
Bubba business. Bubba business.
It's so soulful at the end. Exciting news from the world of the patreon.com/textmebackpod. We now offer annual subscriptions. You may have signed up to do monthly, but now we offer annual if that is better for you. You can sign up at the $3, $6, or $8 level. And if you sign up for annual, you get a 15% discount, which is a little bit cheaper, which might be nice in these difficult times. So we just wanted to share that with you because one of the things I think that warms my heart the most that we hear about the podcast is it gets you through this difficult hellscape that we live in where everything is on fire and Whitey is on the moon. And if that is how you feel about the show, we would love for you to financially support it so that we can keep making it and so that you can continue to stay alive.
Yeah.
in these dark times.
We are just trying to help.
We're trying to help. So please give it a thought. If you have not subscribed, you're on the fence. Perhaps you could get an annual subscription today. Patreon.com/textmebackpod. Not to like beg you for money while we're on the brink of actual global collapse or anything, but this show's important to us. We think it's important to you, and we literally cannot make it without your support.
Yeah.
So if you could support it, that would rock.
Also, if you're already a subscriber, no hard feelings if you want to switch to the cheaper one.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
And people in the Discord were being so sweet, and they were like, no, we're not going to switch if it means less money for our BBWs. And like, that is so nice. And we really deeply appreciate it. But
Yeah.
also don't stress about it. It's
Don't
tough
stress about it.
times. Like,
It
if
is
you
tough
want to
times.
switch, we will not be mad.
I will
In
not be
fact,
mad.
We will not be checking.
And also, I feel like people were kind of mad at us for being like, you can get a discount. We got one message on Instagram being like, why would you ask for less money when I want to give you more? And I'm not going to stop you from giving us more money.
No.
In fact, I set up a Venmo today where you can Venmo us as much money as you want. At Text Me Back Pod is our Venmo. You can Venmo us any amount of dollars that you get, although you don't get any goodies if you do it that way. That's just you being rich and nice.
That's the tip jar.
That's
Maybe.
the tip jar. Yeah, maybe you're like, I can't really commit to an annual subscription, but I do love this show, and I do happen to have $20 or something. I don't know. $20 helps offset quite a bit of costs associated with the show. I was going to say I don't want to beat a dead horse, and then I was like, that's mean to say about horses. And then I remembered that PETA put out a list of alternatives. So it's like, instead of saying,
I remember that.
it was like a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, and they changed it to like something about scones.
Hold on. Kill two birds with one stone. Feed two birds with one scone.
Feed two birds with one scone.
Oh, beat a dead horse is feed a fed horse.
Yeah, so I don't want to feed a fed horse. But we really want to keep making the show. This is, just to reiterate, this is an independent show. There's no secret production company that pays us or helps us make it. It's all us and producer Allie, a trio of decrepit women who would never be invited onto a spaceship, even if we wanted to. They would never ask us. We don't have a hair and makeup budget. But with your help, we can do more stuff. We can make more videos. We can podcast more, perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps one of us could quit a job that is really hard right now, given the state of politics. I don't know. But yeah, so please help us out if you can.
Help us, please. Feed two birds with one scone and bring home the bagels. Okay?
Okay.
That's what we're trying to do here.
And that's our business update, which means we get to play the song again.
Bubba business. Bubba business.
You know, the BBW song sounds a lot like, actually is giving a little bit of Twin Peaks, like a lot of like when they're walking around the Black Lodge and this little person is doing his little backwards dance and snapping. It's a little bit of that. Spooky business women.
That's nice.
Okay, guess what? We get to play another song.
Yes! That's what we like.
Because it is time to tide. Lindy, what's up with you?
Oh, Megan, I've had a week. In addition to it being Skamania County over here, reggae recording session, which is actually really fun. All my favorite boys are here doing their little songs. But in the middle of all that, I get a call, a frantic phone call. I'm over at the neighbor's house, chit-chatting, gossiping. I get a frantic phone call from the Czar of Sound Force, Ahame. He says, Barry has a tick. Barry has a tick. That's why he's been licking. He has a tick and it has a big open sore. Ugh. And I was like, Jesus. Okay. So I was over there checking out the progress on their remodel. And there was a workman there. And he goes, I got bit by a brown recluse. You want to see? I was like, yes, I do, Al. Show it to me. And then he lifts up his pant leg, and on the side of his knee is like a giant red, horrible, like swollen mass with like a big black spot in the middle. And I was like, Al,
Jesus,
you simply must go to the hospital. Oh. And he was like, nah, it's fine. And then the other workman was like, he's used to it. He lives in the woods. I was like, I live in the woods.
Can I say something that is not only marginally related to this? So I ride a Vespa. I think I've talked about this on the show, and I love it. It's my main source of transportation when it's warm enough. And there is nothing men love more than to approach me while I'm either near or on my Vespa to tell me about all of the motorcycle crashes that they've been in. Like, this has happened like 4 times where some like older man, and I can clock them from a mile away now, some older man with like, you know, bootcut jeans on. This is sort of like sauntering in my direction. And it's like, oh God, he's going to tell me something terrible. The last time it happens, I was buying plants at the Lowe's. I was for my garden. And this man sauntered up to me with his daughter, which, ma'am, hello. Anyway, he sauntered up to me and he was like, I love that ride, but you know, you got to be careful. And I was like, yeah, you know, it's only a 50cc. It can only go 30 miles an hour. You know, I ride defensively, etc. And he was like, can I tell you, I got my first and last accident. I wasn't even going above 15. And he's like, I think he got hit by a car. He said he flew through the air, like impaled his leg on something.
Dude.
And I was like, oh, wow, I'm so sorry that happened. That sounds really rough. I'll be sure to be careful. And I'm like about to scoot away, literally about to scoot away. And he starts rolling up those jeans. And I was like, oh,
sir,
it was a show and tell. I wasn't prepared. He has a visual aid. So he rolled up his pant leg and there was, yep. If you're thinking, I wonder if he had a huge chunk of his leg missing. Yeah, he did. And I was like, oh my God. Well, I'll be sure to be careful. Bye. I was like, Jesus, Carl. Oh my God. And it happens all the time. So thank you for keeping me safe out there, fellas. Thank you.
Thanks, wild hogs. Yeah, so Al was like, it's fine. And then my neighbor was like, it looks way worse than when you showed it to me this morning. And he was like, nah. And then he was like, I'm gonna go home and put some herbs on it. It's fine. I was like, okay. And he was like, I got one on my side once. It was way worse than this. It got all black. I was like, okay, well, I wish you the best. He was like, I don't want to go to the hospital. And I was like, okay, this is dangerous territory, but why don't you want to go to the hospital?
Maha, by any chance?
Are we mawing America ha again?
Is our brainworm telling us info that might not be totally correct, Al?
But then he was like, I already know what they're going to do. They're just going to give me antibiotics. And I was like, well,
yeah, dude. Yes. Correct.
I was like, what's wrong with antibiotics? And then I was like, why did I ask that? And then I was nervous. But then he was like, nothing. Oh, nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with antibiotics. I just don't want to sit there for 5 hours around a bunch of dying people. I was like, all right, that's fair, I guess. But also,
by the way, when I was at the emergency room, we weren't all dying. Some of us just needed to have our appendix out. That's
right?
Rude.
But yeah, then I don't know. I was like, well, I wish you the best. I hope you don't lose any of your leg. So anyway, so all of that happens. I'm like, you know, obviously it's distressing to see your baby son have a tick attached to his body, sucking his blood. But I think I don't want to say I thought he was overreacting, but I was like, oh, you know, he's like a little bit freaked out, but it's not that big a deal. I go home. On my way, I call the vet and they're like, oh, we can see you this afternoon. I'm like, great. Then I told them like, oh, I guess he just has a tick attached with like a little sore. And I just want to make sure that, and I don't have a tick remover tool because, you know, you don't want to leave the head in there.
Yeah.
So I was like, I feel like I might as well bring him in. I get home. I look at this man's copper tummy.
Ugh.
this is the nastiest shit I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
life. Okay, so he's
Honestly,
on-
like this is the part where we would be like, we'll post it on Instagram so you can see.
Ugh.
No, we're not doing that. I've seen the pic and it's nasty, and you'll just have to use your imagination because I'm pretty sure we'll get banned from Meta if we
yeah.
try to show it
So-
to you.
Barry is on Simparica Trio. So like the ticks,
I was wondering about that. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
so the ticks die when they bite him. And
Yeah.
I did give he was like 2 days late on his pill this month, so I wonder if it gave them a window.
Mm.
But they still die when they bite him. So the tick is so I was expecting a big engorged tick.
Yeah.
No, it's a dead tick with no meal at all inside of it. However, somehow it has created this big like open sore, but
It's very gross. Yeah.
it's like a crater, you know, like
Yeah.
a perfectly round crater, and then it's filled with like, you know, white stuff, and then the corpse of the dead tick like down there in the.
If any of our listeners are supporters of the Dr. Pimple Popper kind of genre of video, just like think that as it was like sort of giving blackhead, but also like honestly it looked so gross to me. I thought it was a bot fly. If anyone's ever seen those videos on TikTok or Instagram where they pull a whole larva out and it leaves like a big hole, like it kind of looked like that. Oh, it's so gross.
It looks like a botfly hole, except like twice as big. Like it's big. Maybe 3 times as big. And then the whole area is red, and it's like it just looks really angry. And so I'm like, my baby son is in danger. And so I took him to the vet, and then it was like so sad because he was clearly it hurt, you know. They had to fish the dead tick out with like, you know,
Poor guy.
what's that called? Hemostat
Tweezers?
thing.
What?
Oh, a hemostat. It's one of those like long.
I thought you said penis stat. And I said, Lindy, stop being gross. There's no way that's what it's called.
It was this is right next to his penis.
Oh God.
So then and like it was just so sad, and he was like, but he did get to have some treats. But anyway, long story longer. Then also during the exam, I found 3 more ticks on him.
Ugh.
So, and they said, yes, it's a big tick season due to climate change, because we never used to have ticks here. Used to be no ticks at all in the PNW.
Perhaps if Barry had gone to space, he would have seen how important it is to save our planet, and he wouldn't have so many tick bites.
Yep. Well, he can't go to space, Megan, because Barry believes in Frisbee Earth. But anyway, the grand finale is that now Barry's in a cone again.
Oh, my poor son. Has he not suffered enough?
He's so depressed.
Oh, God.
So he's on tons of antibiotics and a little pain med, and back in the cone, refusing, like, doesn't, like, he will eat, but you have to, like, hand feed him the kibble because he's so mad.
Yeah. That's right.
So anyway,
that's right.
That was my big tiding for the week.
Poor guy. Yeah, Kevin got a tick. When we got him, he was fine, which you would think the story would be the opposite, that he would have come to me with a lot of ticks from the Lancaster farm. But he got a tick here, like in my city neighborhood, and it was on his little head. We got it off, took him to the vet, and the vet was like, seems fine. He's on Simparica Trio also, which is important for all dogs, even if you live in the city, apparently, because what happened next, like a month later, I took him out. He didn't really want to walk all the way back home. He was still like a little baby then. So I picked him up, carried him. I sit back down at my desk and I feel something on the back of my neck. And I was like, what is this? And I was like, I just thought it was schmutz, you know? So I tried to pull it. It was kind of stuck, and it almost felt like tape. I was like, did I actually get like a piece of tape stuck on the back of my neck? It's so weird. So I just yanked it, and it was a fucking tick, and it must have just jumped off of Kevin onto me when I picked him up, and I hadn't embedded or anything. It was still alive. And then, but I panicked and I just chucked it, and I was like, why did I do that? Where the fuck is it? I did eventually find it, and I was running around trying to find alcohol, because I was like, you're not supposed to flush them, right? Like, I was like, I couldn't remember any of the rules.
Are you not supposed to flush them?
I don't know. I couldn't remember any of the rules. I was like, I feel like I heard that somewhere. So I finally found some alcohol and I just drowned the tick in the alcohol and just like sort of watched it die. And I was like looking at Kevin. He's looking at me like, what is the situation? And I was like, oh God, I think I hate you. That was evil. I can't believe that just happened. Then of course I'm like looking up what kind of tick it was, because I don't think that we have Lyme disease or like ticks that carry Lyme this far out, but it wasn't the type of tick that carries it. But I was like,
good.
oh my God, ow. It's scary, even if they don't totally,
Yeah.
get it, like,
Well,
have their little meal.
Oh, it's so disturbing. And now apparently I live in a tick infested zone. But also, yeah.
Do they make Simparica Trio for human beings?
That's what I was about to say, because this has been the talk of the town all week. We've been talking about ticks constantly, and Roya was like, "Can I take Simparica Trio? Like, I don't want to get ticks. Why can't humans take Simparica Trio?"
Hello? If you're a vet/human doctor, can you let us know why that doesn't exist?
Please.
Hello?
Seems like a no-brainer.
Well, we're all praying on Barry's quick recovery.
Thank you. I'm kind of like, he hates the cone so much, and I'm kind of like, why does he have to wear the cone? Like, here's my question. If it's their instinct to lick their wound, why is that bad?
Let them do it.
Shouldn't
Who cares?
But honestly though, like, what doesn't that indicate that, like, that's good for the wound somehow? Like, what do they do in the wild? They don't have a cone or an Elizabethan collar.
I think they just get infections in the wild and die, I guess.
Well, no, but not all of them. Some of them have to survive. He's on antibiotics. I'm just saying, if he keeps taking the antibiotics and like he licks the wound a little bit, does that matter?
Free Barry.
I'm so
Free him.
Honestly, Megs, I'm so fucking sick of watching him pout.
I know.
He is just lying on the floor under the dining room table. He refuses to come out. He's just lying under there in the cone going, dude, come on.
God. That's really funny.
Yeah. What's your tiding?
My tiding is not as good as that, I don't think. But
I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right.
I went to New York City, the Big Apple, baby, the city that never sleeps. And here's why. I got a ticket to see Cola Scola in Oh Mary, a wonderful play. Let me just back up and say something. And I want to emphasize this is about me. I am not talking about anyone else. I'm not casting judgment upon anyone else.
Okay.
Because what I'm about to say is, I'm not really like a Broadway person. You know what I mean? Like, so Oh Mary's not a musical per se, but I like something about musicals. And again, this is about me and my weird feelings. Something about musicals, rough watch. You know what I mean? Some of them are okay, but it's the ones where they sort of like talk to each other that are kind of make me like, ooh, like,
ooh, Les Mis.
Yeah, ooh.
Where they're like,
it's a lot.
I am coming into the town. I am going to get you.
Yeah.
You are a bad boy in the town.
He like introduces himself. I am Javert. Like, okay. Oh, it's so weird. And again, that is my particular weird thing. I know that there are a lot of people who love musicals, and I am genuinely not judging you. Do whatever you want. But I just have a hard time with it. And plays, I've been to plays in the past, and I just find it to be very like, I am acting. And it's just a lot. It's just like, it just feels like, it's like the thing is happening too close to you. It's like, make it, I want several barriers of distance between me and the art. I guess that's how I feel. Like,
yeah.
I don't feel that way about seeing like paintings. But if I had to like watch a painter paint, I probably would die. You know, I don't know.
I mean, live theater is one of our most awkward art forms for sure.
Yeah.
And you're hypersensitive to awkwardness, I think. You don't have a high tolerance for it.
I don't have a high tolerance for it. I did, however, watch Wicked recently on Peacock, and I was stressed because I thought it was going to give me those feelings. Mm-hmm. But it didn't. It was very pleasant. So if you are the type of person who feels a little cringy watching musicals, and maybe because it was a movie and it wasn't on the stage, I don't know exactly. But they also didn't sing talk in that. So I was like, thank God. God. It was nice. And also the psychosis surrounding that entire production really, you can't put a price on how crazy that press tour was, how crazy everyone involved is. They let patients out of the hospital for that one, and they nailed it, babe. They nailed it. That shit is crazy. And by the end of it, I was like, yeah, I would have grabbed her weird little finger as well. I get it now. This shit's nuts. These women are insane. Parentheses, complimentary, additional parentheses, question mark, additional parentheses, exclamation point. And parentheses, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But anyway, I am a huge fan of Titus Burgess, who was very briefly played Mary Todd Lincoln in Oh Mary. So I was like, I just wonder how much it would cost to go see him, because he was like only in the show for 10 days or something. And I'm a huge fan of his and find him to be very funny. And I couldn't quite swing it. But then the ticket website was like, did you know Cola Scola is coming back? And here's a single seat for like $180, which is a lot of money, but it was half as much as all of the other tickets that were.
And for a piece of history, I mean,
yeah,
you can just tell this is a phenomenon that's going to persist.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a lot of things. It's like how Hamilton pervaded every aspect of culture. I kind of am hoping that happens with Oh Mary, because it was very funny. Yeah. And I got a seat like right in front. So they all come out, they're acting. You can see like the spit flying and everything. And like Cola Scola's right in front of me, and they're like amazing in this. And I got a little hotel. I was there for 2 nights. I decided to just be like a dork. So I went to the top of the Empire State Building on my first day. It cost $50 fucking. Okay, that's really weird. Yep. And I saw some influencers making content on the observation deck, and we'll say nothing further because I'm being supportive of people and their creations.
You were like, tell me your secrets so that I can make my podcast.
I was like, hey, are your videos popular? If so, how do you do that? Because I feel like we've got something special here. Then I demanded that she subscribe to our Patreon as I was talking to her.
Good.
And no, she was like sort of dressed like Little Red Riding Hood, kind of. I was like, she caught my eye immediately because I was like, why is that lady so bright? Like she was very bright. And then her influencer husband was sort of like making. Anyway, it was crazy, but good for her. Anyway, so I go to the theater. I even took the subway because it was raining. And it was lovely. I was there by myself. I took myself on a little date to New York, and I stayed at the Ace Hotel, which still has a chokehold on me. I feel like the Ace was like such the aesthetic for our mid-20s.
Yeah.
And it still gets me to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I stayed at the Ace. I go to the show, and I went and got like a little sippy cup of Prosecco for $47. I got a commemorative Oh Mary sippy cup, which I ended up not keeping because it leaked. Oh. So I was like, there's nothing I can do with this now, but whatever. Worth it. And I got talking to the bartender guy, and he was like,
can't you like take it home and put pens in it? That's what I would do.
I guess I could have, but I have so many commemorative cups full of pens. I feel like that's my top item is cups with pens.
I ordered a crate, Meagan, of air plants so that I could put one air plant in each of my fucking cups.
At first I was like, oh, I'll just use it as a vase and I was like, it leaks. Stupid. Anyways, so I'm like talking to the bartender, and he was like, oh, is this your first time seeing it? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, are you excited? And I was like, yeah, I came all the way up from DC. And he's like, really? Like he was shocked that I had done something like this. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, are you seeing anything else? Like, and I think he really wanted to bond with me over it. And I was like, no, God, no, absolutely not. I'd rather die. Anyway, if you have the opportunity to see it, you don't need me to tell you this, but it's so funny. It's so weird. It's really, really, really good. Actually, there's obviously pulls from a lot of different comedic inspirations, but I feel like an underappreciated inspiration, this is just a guess of mine, but an underappreciated inspo for Oh Mary, I really want to say is like the Naked Gun movies. There's a lot of like, which as I was sitting there watching it, I realized like, I feel like I don't give the Naked Gun movies enough credit for helping form my comedic sensibilities, like the hyper literalism that I always find super funny.
Yeah.
Like that was Airplane, but like don't call me Shirley's of it all.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on in this play. I really don't want to give anything away.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
Because when you get hit with the jokes, it's just like, I would have never thought of that. It's so funny. Anyway, Cole plays a sort of drunk and bored version of Mary Todd Lincoln. They famously did no research before writing this play, and it's so perfect because of that. She was a niche cabaret star in her youth before getting married to her husband. He's billed as her husband in the play, but you may have heard of him.
Yeah.
His name's Abraham. And it's just kind of like about she's just bored and trapped in the White House, and she gets up to all these little like just really funny schemes. And there's just I will say one bit that killed me the most. I will give this one thing away, is like, she jumps up on the Resolute desk to like proclaim something to the audience, and then she can't figure out how to get back down. So it's honestly like a 4-minute thing of her like sort of trying to put her foot down, and it's like I don't. And then at one point she just kind of stops and goes, I don't know how I can't. And she's I can't figure out how to get off the table. Like, that's Meg's bait.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah.
Got him. So if you can see it, I know it's a lot to just take yourself to New York, but if you can, I really recommend it. It was so, so funny. And if it goes on tour or something, go see it immediately, because it was really hilarious.
Oh, speaking of the kind of comedy that you love, I thought of a nickname. I thought it was so cool that the president's desk gets to have a nickname. And I thought, I want my desk to have a nickname.
Yes.
And so I came up with a nickname for my desk, which is the bread salute desk, because I salute the bread. I love bread. Look, obviously Oprah's canceled to us, but do we love bread? Yes.
I love bread.
And I salute bread each day from my desk. I use my desk to earn bread with which I can buy bread.
You did it, babe.
It's the bread salute desk. Thank you.
I love it. I had a nice little time in New York. I feel like my heart softened a little bit about New York. I was like, yeah, this is kind of a fun little town. Although it rained the whole time I was there. The play was great. I walked through Times Square. Oh, I had a thought about Times Square that I wanted to share. I walked through Times Square to get back to my hotel because it had stopped raining. And I just was like, it's so funny to me that Times Square is like a tourist draw. It's like, it's just lights at the end of the day. And then I just had this moment of like, that's so cute that human beings travel from all over the world to be like, oh, the lights. It just made me laugh. I was like, you flew here all the way from France to see an ad lit up. That's so cute to me.
Timothy Chalamet is wearing a new sunglasses.
It's so bright. Oh, it just made me feel this sense of like delight about human beings that to this day, just like something that's very bright is very delightful to us still.
And that is really cute. Someone in my extended family who lives in an unnamed Great Plains city traveled to New York with their family and then reported back that the Olive Garden in Times Square is so much better than the Olive Garden back home.
Can I say something? I almost went to it. I thought that would be funny. Well, I really genuinely considered going into the Guy Fieri.
I mean, we gotta go.
I know.
Gotta
but
go.
then that's exactly why I didn't go, because I was like, I can't not go with Lindy. Like, we have to go together, because it was a subject of a very famous and very mean restaurant review in the New York Times. And I just thought, like, honestly, it's so cute to me. People are just like, I went and I saw the lights, and then I had a blaster with a wacky straw after. I was like, that kicks ass. Why are we judging? I love it.
Let people have fun.
Let people from France do weird stuff for once.
Okay, look. Counterpoint. Is corporatism destroying the fabric of Earth?
Sure.
And does it make me sick that there's just one restaurant left that's just serves slop from the Cisco truck with different hats on it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't know. Let people have a good time.
It's not the people's fault that it happened that way. Let them have the Doritos nachos on a Guy Fieri face-shaped plate. You know?
Let them drink donkey sauce.
That's what they're saying from space.
Well, that's our tidings.
That's our tidings, and we will be right back for the end of the program.
No, I have another segment.
Oh.
It's called Lindy's Conspiracies and Mysteries.
I thought that was just going to be a part of the closeout. I thought it was quick.
Oh, I also forgot to talk. Well, actually, that's a conspiracy and a mystery, too. Okay, it can be in the closeout. Okay. In the closeout. Stay tuned for the closeout, bitch.
The show is going to end. Well, Indy.
Well, Meagan, I am Russell Crowe, and I am here in the town to say goodbye to the
I am walking forcefully with my news about static electricity.
Meagan, don't give it away. Spoiler alert. Wow, Meagan took a big crap right on my segment.
That's what musicals do. That's what musicals do. That's what musicals do. What's going on? We're about to end the show. What do you got?
Meagan, I think there's more static electricity than there used to be.
Okay. Why do you think that?
Because I'm getting shocked all the time. I'm getting shocked everywhere I go, all day, every day, getting shocked. Zap, 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 zip, zop, zippity, zap, zop, zoop. Shocked.
Why are you shuffling? Maybe that's the issue.
Oh, actually, maybe that is. Maybe I'm not picking these porkers up.
Maybe you got to pick up them dogs. That's why your wiki feet score is so low, because you've been dragging them.
Well, oh my God. Why did you just puncture my fucking whole thing? I probably am shuffling.
Like Mr. Burns with his feet in the Kleenex boxes. That's you.
Every day I'm shuffling. I am Hugh Jackman. I have never seen it. I don't know the plot. It's something about Napoleon. Is that right?
I think Anne Hathaway cuts her hair, but I don't know why. And her name is like Poutine or something. And she's sad. And Javert is involved.
He's bad. Question mark.
I don't know what Hugh Jackman does, but I bet it's good.
Anyway, I just am saying I traveled somewhere else. Like I traveled to New York City. I traveled to Los Angeles. I'm getting shocked in every time zone, Megs.
What do you think? Like, let's say it's not the shuffling.
It's not my job, Megan, to know where the extra static electricity is coming from. Also, what is electricity?
Benjamin, if you're Benjamin Franklin, can you give us a call?
Or Franklin the Turtle.
I think Benjamin Franklin invented the telephone, so give us a call.
Alexander Graham Bell, Megan.
I know.
If you know why there's definitely more static electricity now, and it's definitely not because I shuffle my feet like a lazy bones, can you call us? Thank you.
Thank you. 703-829-0003. Benjamin Franklin, we're awaiting your phone call from the device that you invented.
That's pod tax. Oof. The O's are zeros. I haven't done that one in a while. Second conspiracy theory. Okay.
Just really quickly, I know Alexander Graham Bell invented the phone.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to make sure everyone was aware that I know that.
I'm sorry. I
was doing a bit that didn't really succeed.
It's just that You know why? You know why? It's because I'm stupid. And to me, Benjamin Franklin is too close to Alexander Graham Bell. I think of them as the same. They're like in the same, I file them in the same folder.
As far as I know, they were brothers. I don't fucking know.
Exactly. So you could have been right. I understand now that I think about it, they were at least 100 years apart.
Were they?
Well, well, okay, because Benjamin Franklin, famously alive in around 1776,
That's what they say.
telephone invented around turn of the century 1900-ish.
Yes.
Late 1800. So that's 100 years. So
Yep.
I think that
Benjamin Franklin had been dead for 60 years or so before our homie AGB was even born. So they were not brothers. They were not brothers.
What did Thomas Edison do? He was there too. And maybe he helped.
Too. Oh, he was born the same year as Alexander Graham Bell. They were brothers. Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, canonically inventor brothers. Please continue.
What? Can we just combine them? Do we need both? Yeah, come on.
No.
But so like if you had said, someone who I keep in a different folder, then I would have not panicked. But truly what you triggered was me being like, did Benjamin Franklin invent the telephone?
What's going on?
And then I had to be like, no, hey. Anyway. But if you'd said Alexander the Great.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
Then I would have been like, you're doing a bit. Anyway.
What's your other?
Okay, I think the coffee companies are scamming us. Okay, This is my second conspiracy of the day. I think, you know how the beans are expensive?
Sure.
I think the coffee companies are telling us to use more beans than we need per load. Because who's ever tested
per load?
Who's gonna waste a whole load of beans to test the minimum amount of beans that you need to brew one pot of coffee?
Yeah,
because they're like, just fill it up, fill up that coffee filter, just dump it in there.
I feel like the measurements they suggest you do don't match up right with the amount of cups. Like they'll be like, it'll be a tablespoon and 1/2 per 8 ounces. How about this? How about you say cups, bitch? How about cups? How about you say, because the coffee machine has cups in it. How about you tell me how many cups and how many tablespoons of grounds instead of making me convert from ounces to whatever whatever you think cups are on your machine.
It's like the toilet paper math, Megan. Oh, 1 roll equals 80 rolls and a half a roll equals 10 mega rolls. Yeah. Okay. This is what I'm saying. I think that in the coffee industry and the world of coffee, I think there's no standardization. I think no one knows how many scoops it takes to brew a good pot. And I think we're all just flailing in the dark, and the coffee company is freaking rubbing its hands together, dollar signs in the eyeballs, and they are rolling in cash because we are burning through bags of beans.
I can't take it. And they're about to start putting tariffs on them bad boys, so we better figure out a solution.
Well, yeah, we have one. It's called Magic Mind.
It's called Magic Mind. Never heard of it.
So that's my second one. I don't trust it. Because what do you mean? Like, the water goes through the coffee grounds and goes into the pot and becomes coffee. I just don't know. I don't think you need that much.
No.
Okay. Thank you.
I agree with you. And I think we solved it. Thank you to all 98% of you who listened all the way to the end.
Well, no, there's one more. I have one more.
Oh.
Really quick. This is also kind of housekeeping.
Okay.
Last week, around this time in the show, I debuted on the show.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my God.
My number one most requested top impression, which is Newman from Seinfeld. Well, Megan requested it, actually.
I don't think that's right.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I've been doing this impression for a few years. Aham hates it. Everyone hates it. I think
everyone hates it.
I think it's really good.
Yeah.
I think it's spot on. You can't even tell the difference. You're like, is that Lindy or is that the real Newman.
I
from
don't know
Seinfeld.
where Wayne Knight ends and Lindy begins.
Many have said that on the internet.
Mhm.
So I'm so excited about getting this finally in an episode. It's kind of the whole reason I started the podcast, is to someday
No.
do my Newman impression.
I changed my mind. Don't subscribe to the Patreon, and then I can like guilt-free just end the podcast.
No,
Stop
Meagan.
doing this.
No. So I'm so excited. I go to do the edits for the episode and make notes for producer Allie. I'm rubbing my hands together like an evil coffee company, grifting everyone out of bean money. I'm so pumped. The episode sounds beautiful. The whole episode records perfectly. We get all the way to the end. I can't contain myself. Meagan says, "Oh, Lindy, please do your amazing impression, Newman from Seinfeld." Then just my mic cuts for just the duration of me doing the impression, and then cuts back in.
Further proof of a benevolent, loving God. And yet, she had a backup recording that she was able to put in there, straying once again from God's light to torture me and all of you. And yet you keep buying her books.
Well, in a book, no one can hear you do your Newman impression.
I know you want, just do it. I know you want to.
Hello, Jerry.
All right. Well, and with that, we'll catch you all next week. Subscribe to our Patreon, or please don't. Please don't. Actually, cancel your Patreon.
Meagan, why do you think that happened? The podcast.
Why do you think it? Because it was horrible. Because Jesus himself was saying, don't do this to them. They've suffered enough.
Do you think the podcasting app is sentient? Does Riverside have a brain?
Yes.
Or really no brain? Because if it had a brain, it would recognize that was a good impression. Hello, Jerry.
Yes. Every single human being you've done it for has told you that it's horrible. But if our podcasting software had a brain, it would know. It was a good impression.
Anyway, I mean, that's a spooky ghost story, honestly.
I know.
I was very spooked. But yeah, luckily I couldn't restrain. I had done it again later in the recording, so I was able to splice it back in.
Oh, thank God.
Seamlessly.
We're so lucky.
So anyway, thanks for listening. If you're Alexander Graham Bell, call us.
From beyond the grave.
Oof.
Okay.
And we'll see you next week. God, wow, what a time to be alive.
What ba? Mwah!
Thank you so much for listening to Text Me Back. If you like the show, please tell your best friend about us. Be sure to rate and review us. It helps people find the show. And most importantly, please support our Patreon so we can keep making this. It's patreon.com/textmebackpod. Text Me Back is a production of Meagan and Lindy, proud members of the BFF Network. Our senior producer is Megan Hatcher-Mays. Our other senior producer is me. Our show is supported by Co-Pilot Collective and produced by Allie Slice. Our digital strategist is Chance Nichols.
Diana Bowen is our video and creative wizard. Our production team includes Lindy West, Megan Hatcher-Mays, our loves, our anxieties, and our fears.
Our music is by Chief Ahamefule J. Oluo.
Special thanks to our perfect angels, Jeannie Yandel, Brandy Fullwood, and Isolde Raftery.
I'm Lindy West.
And I'm Megan Hatcher-Mays. See you next week. Mwah!